I'm Jocelyn Johnson. We are going to talk about early learning and childcare, advocacy and action, and the power of community. So we're going to talk about how to start building a plan for advocacy.
How do I do advocacy?
When we care about an issue in our community, we often feel like someone should do something about that. But really, those someones are us. And it's often hard to know where to start as one person. So we're going to talk about 5 steps for advocacy. The first is to know what your goals are. What do you want to accomplish? If things went your way in your ideal world, what would happen? What would be different? So knowing really what you're trying to achieve and then starting to chart the path toward that. So for early learning and childcare, the goal is really to make sure that all families, first and foremost, have access to quality childcare and to make that affordable for all families so that families are not restricted from accessing quality childcare. And the third is to make sure that the people who work in childcare have what they need to meet their own needs so that that system of childcare and early learning is sustainable.
Early learning and childcare workers is important.
Number 2, know your audience. Who has the power to make the change? Who has the power to put in policy or funding or regulations that will make the difference? And who do those people in power need to hear from? Who is your audience that has the power to influence those decision makers?
How do I have a voice?
Number 3, clear message with an ask. A message should be self-contained. It means that if someone who doesn't know anything about the topic that you're presenting can understand what the problem is, what the context is, and what's needed, all in the same message. So it has to be very, very short and very straightforward, but also capture all of the essential details that are needed to understand the situation and what the goals are.
Parents should talk to each other.
Number 4, build a team. It's hard to do things alone. Not a lot of people have the time to do all of the tasks that are involved in advocacy, but it's also helpful to feel like a team, to feel like you have a community with you. And that's often the case, is when one person has a strong value for their community and wants to achieve an outcome, there's usually others that want that same outcome to happen and have the same goals in mind.
I do care about quality in childcare.
Number 5, follow up. If people have added their voice to your effort for advocacy, it means that they care. It means that they might be willing to do something else in the future as well. So always follow up with anyone who is willing to take part, whether it's signing a petition, making a phone call, visiting with a member of parliament or an MLA. Always follow up to make sure that they know the outcome of their effort and what opportunities there are in the future to be involved.
What if the government wasn't listening?
Take a look at who's already doing advocacy. The Association of Early Childhood Educators of Alberta already has really good information about what's needed for early childhood educators in our province. We know that they need a wage grid. We know that we need to support better compensation and better education for early childhood educators, and their association has been sending that message to government. We can lift that up by getting involved as parents and community members to amplify what's already being asked for and let the government know that we as community members and parents support those educators and we support their association in their asks. Will really help to let the government know that the public is also on the side of these associations and their messages.
Parents should send their government a message.
The Childcare Now Alberta website has all the resources you'll need for advocacy. There are sample letters, templates, talking points, everything that you might need to be able to do your part in advocating for a quality, accessible, affordable early learning and childcare system.
I love my childcare workers. Thanks.